6 in the morning. Your alarm hasn't even gone off, but your phone just lit up. The bank notification, you know exactly what it is. $580 paid. Gone. That's the car payment. You look at the balance that's left. It's Monday. You got paid on Friday. And just like that, the bank took its share before you even had your coffee. Your stomach sinks. You worked overtime last week. For this, for a piece of metal sitting in the driveway. You haven't even driven it today, and it already cost you $580. Sit down. We need to talk. Because you are being robbed, and you're the one handing them the keys. You don't know me. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that I've seen that same notification. I've felt that exact same pit in my stomach. I've worked the second job, the weekend shift, missing the kids' baseball games, just to make sure that payment cleared. I've spent a lifetime on Main Street watching good people trade their freedom for that new car smell, and I learned a lesson they don't teach you in the dealership showroom. Wall Street sells you zero down. Main Street calls that 0 cents. You are working 60 hours a week not to get ahead, but to pay for a machine that is guaranteed to lose value. Think about that. You are trading hours of your life that you will never get back for a status symbol that nobody cares about. You're listening to me because you know I'm right. You feel it every time that payment hits. So let's stop hiding. The first step is admitting the problem. Go to the comments right now. I want you to write down the exact amount. Your monthly car payment. 450, 620, 700. Put the number down in black and white. No shame. Just the facts. Let's see what we're really dealing with. Go ahead. I'll wait. Now that you've written it down, let's talk about why you did it. You signed those papers because you told yourself, I work hard, I deserve it. We all say it. I need something reliable. I deserve something nice. Let me tell you what you actually deserve. You deserve to sleep through the night. You deserve to see a check engine light come on and not feel a wave of panic. You deserve to get an unexpected $500 medical bill and just pay it. You deserve to open your utility bill without your heart pounding. You deserve to have your water heater break and just go buy a new one, in cash. That's what you deserve. Peace. And that nice thing in your driveway is the anchor that guarantees you will never have it. It is the single biggest obstacle between you and financial peace. They sold you reliability and status, but what you bought was a 5-year, 72-month contract to stay broke. You didn't reward yourself. You indentured yourself. What does that 72-month contract mean? It means you can't quit that job you hate. It means you can't take a risk on that idea you had. It means you must make that money every single month, or they come and take it. That's not deserving. That's being owned. You are owned by the bank. You are owned by that piece of depreciating steel. The dealership salesman doesn't care about you. He got his commission the moment you signed. The bank president doesn't care about you. He's just collecting the 8.5% interest. They're all getting paid. With your labor, with your overtime, with the time you're not spending with your kids, all for a machine that loses 20% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. You paid $50,000 for something that's worth $40,000 a minute later, and you are going to spend the next 6 years paying interest on the $10,000 that vanished into thin air. Tell me again how you deserve that. And this isn't happening in a vacuum. You're already getting crushed. The student loans are breathing down your neck. The credit card balance is creeping up because groceries cost 30% more than they did 2 years ago. You're juggling all of this. And then you added this voluntary, self-inflicted financial wound. The car payment. It's the one we choose. We tell ourselves it's a necessity. It's not. A car is a necessity. A $50,000 truck financed over 7 years is a luxury that is bankrupting the American middle class. It's the acceptable debt. It's the one your friends congratulate you for. The banks love this. This is the system. They want you juggling. They want you to have just enough to make the minimum payments, but never enough to get ahead. They trap you with the student loans. They hook you with the credit cards, and they finish you off with the car loan. It's the triple threat. Why? Because a man or woman who is deep in debt is a compliant worker. They don't ask for raises. They don't start their own businesses. They just show up, punch the clock, and work. They are trapped. You look at your neighbor's new truck and you feel envy. I look at it and I see a man who just signed up for another 300 hours of overtime. I see a man who can't afford to get sick. This isn't status, it's a race to the bottom. And the only winner is the bank. You're probably thinking that $580 payment is the whole problem. You're thinking, if I just refinance or get a slightly cheaper car next time. You're missing the point. That $580 is just the symptom. The disease, the real mistake, is much, much bigger. We're not talking about $580. We're talking about $40,000. That's the amount you are lighting on fire. You just don't see it yet. You think you bought a car. But I'm going to show you how you actually bought a $40,000 mistake. And in the next parts, I'm not just going to show you the wound. I'm going to show you how to stop the bleeding. For good. So where did I get that $40,000 number? You're looking at your $580 payment, you're looking at the $50,000 sticker price, and you're thinking, that's not $40,000. You're right. It's worse. But the $40,000 I'm talking about, that's not the price of the car, that's the price of the mistake. That's the leak. That's the money you are lighting on fire. Let's do the math. The simple math. The kind the dealership hopes you never do. Let's say your payment is $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. You tell yourself, that's the cost of transportation. That is a lie. The cost of transportation is not $500 a month. The cost of a reliable 5-year-old paid-for car is about $100 a month. That's what you should be putting aside. That's for oil changes, new tires, and the eventual repair that will happen. $100. The rest? That $400 difference? That's not transportation. That's the ego tax. That's the status fee. That's the what will the neighbors think payment. That is the leak. $400 every single month. Now let's follow the money. $400 a month times 12 months in a year. That is $4,800. $4,800 every year. Gone. That $4,800 is a fully funded emergency fund. It's your credit card debt, paid off. It's 2 months of mortgage payments. It's peace of mind. And you are trading it for a new dashboard. But you're in this for the long haul. You signed a 6-year loan. Let's be conservative. Let's say you only make this mistake for 100 months. That's 8 years and 4 months. That's basically 2 car cycles for the average American. What is $400 times 100? It's $40,000. There it is. $40,000. Gone. Evaporated. You worked for how long? A year? 2 years of your life? You traded 2 years of getting up at 5 a.m., of sitting in traffic, of dealing with your boss, all to pay for the difference between a new car and a smart choice. And I can hear you from here, I can hear the excuse. But I need reliability. I have to get to work. I have kids. I can't be stranded on the side of the road. I need the warranty. You have been sold a bill of goods. You've been convinced that new means reliable and used means risky. Let me tell you what's really risky. Risky is having a $580 payment due on the 1st of the month, and your paycheck is 2 days late. Risky is being 1 medical bill away from repossession. Risky is a 72-month loan. That is more reliable at taking your money than your paycheck is at growing. That is not reliability. That is a prison sentence. I go to a mechanic. His name is Lou. He's been fixing cars in my neighborhood for 30 years. His shop, Lou's Auto, is piled high with parts. And he told me something I'll never forget. He said, I see 2 kinds of cars, kid. I see the $60,000 SUVs, 2 years old, with their transmissions already slipping because they're full of cheap plastic parts and complicated computers. The owner is panicking because the infotainment screen died and it cost $2,000 to fix. And then, he said, I see the 2010 Toyota, the 2008 Honda, 200,000 miles on it. The paint is faded. The owner comes in, pays $300 in cash for a new water pump, and drives it for another 50,000 miles. Lou is not impressed by your heated steering wheel. He's impressed by the car that lasts. You are buying a brand new, complicated computer on wheels because you are terrified of a $500 repair bill. Think about that. To avoid a possible, maybe potential $500 repair, you guaranteed yourself a $580 bill every single month for 6 years. Let's do that math. $580 times 72 months. That's 41 times 760. You didn't avoid the risk. You became the risk. You bought the most expensive insurance policy in the world, and it's not even a good one. Here is the truth. A 5-year-old car, bought with cash, that's not a risk. That's freedom. The best car feature isn't the sunroof, it's the title in your hand, fully paid. But you're worried. What will people think if I drive a 10-year-old car? You're worried about being called a cheapskate. Let them talk. Being cheap is arguing with the waitress over a $2 charge. Being smart is refusing to light $40,000 on fire to impress your neighbor, who, by the way, is working gig deliveries on the weekend just to keep his own leased BMW from being repossessed. This isn't about saving money, it's about saving your life. It's about respecting the hours you trade for dollars. You worked a full week, 40, 50 hours, for that one $580 payment, and you have 71 more to go. So now you see it. The leak isn't a trickle, it's a fire hydrant, it's the $40,000 hole. You can't out-earn this, you can't get a raise that will fix this level of waste. You are bailing water out of a boat that has a massive hole in the bottom. You've seen the math, you know where the leak is. In the next part, I'm going to give you the only tool you need to plug it. It's the most powerful financial tool on earth, and it doesn't cost you a single cent. The most powerful financial tool in the world? It's not an app. It's not a spreadsheet. It's not some Wall Street investment strategy. It's one word, 2 letters. No. No to the salesman. No to the 8.9% interest rate. No to the zero-down deal. No to the pressure. Saying no to that $500 payment doesn't mean you have zero. It means you have $500. Saying no to that $400 a month leak means you have $400. Let's look at the math again. That $400 a month you don't spend. That $4,800 a year you keep. What is that? What does that $4,800 buy you? It buys you the end of fear. Right now you're driving that new car, terrified. You're terrified of a pothole. You're terrified of a door ding. You're terrified of that check engine light, because you know you're one $900 repair bill away from disaster. You're already broke from the payment. You have nothing left for the actual problem. Now, imagine you're driving your 8-year-old paid-off car. You have that $4,800 in the bank. You saved it. The check engine light comes on. What do you feel? You feel annoyed. Not panic. Annoyance. You take it to Lou. He plugs in the computer. He says, all right, it's the catalytic converter. It's going to be $900. You look at him and you say, okay, when will it be done? You pay him from your bank account, not a credit card, not a payday loan. You just pay it, and you still have $3,900 left. You see the difference? One man is a slave to his car. The other is the master of his money. That $4,800 a year, that $40,000 over 100 months, that is your freedom fund. That's the water heater breaking on a Tuesday, and you just get a new one installed on Wednesday. Paid. That's your kid needing braces, and you write the check for the down payment without even flinching. That's your boss yelling at you, and you having the freedom to look for a new job, because you don't need this one to make a car payment next week. You think this is a fantasy? I've seen it. I know a woman, Sarah, from Ohio. Single mum. She was drowning in a $620 a month lease for an SUV she couldn't afford. She was working 2 jobs, taking delivery gigs at night. She broke the lease. It cost her $2,000. She took that $2,000 from her savings, what was left of it, and bought a $6,000 10-year-old Honda. She told me she cried for an hour in that old car, not because it was a step down, but because she did the math. She was saving $620 a month. That's $7,440 a year. She quit her second job. She was home for dinner for the first time in 3 years. I know a guy, Mike, from Texas, big truck, $710 a month payment. He and his wife sold it. They went down to one older minivan for the whole family. He said his friends at work gave him hell for it. Then he told me, they can laugh, I just paid off my last credit card. My wife and I are saving $1,000 a month. He said, I'd rather be uncool in the drop-off line and be able to take my family on a real vacation. This is the power of no. It's not about deprivation. It's about liberation. You're not giving up a new car. You are buying your life back. You are buying back your time. But I know the hard part. It's the pressure. It's the culture. It's your neighbor, your brother-in-law, your friend at work. Hey, when are you getting a new set of wheels? You still driving that thing? They think new means successful. They think shiny means stable. Here is the truth. They are the ones who are struggling. They are the ones one paycheck from disaster. They are the ones staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., terrified of the bills. You, with your paid-for car and your $4,800 in the bank, you are the one who is successful. You are the one who is stable. They are playing a game they can't win. They are trying to look rich. You are trying to be rich. Or at least not be poor. So what do you tell them? You just smile. You say, it's reliable, it's paid for. I'm focusing on other things right now. You don't need to explain. You don't need to justify your freedom to people who are still in chains. This is the new status symbol. It's not the car. It's the absence of the payment. It's the first of the month, and you don't care. Your bank account is safe. The auto debit isn't coming. It's the feeling of knowing that if you lost your job tomorrow, they can't take your transportation. You own it. It's time to change the goal. The goal isn't to look good in the driveway. The goal is to sleep well at night. Stop working 2 jobs just to impress people you don't know at a red light. You see the math, you feel the truth, you've seen the proof from people just like you, but feeling isn't doing. Now, you have to act. You have to make the plan. We've done the math. We've looked at the psychology. We've exposed the $40,000 mistake. But now let's talk about what this really costs. You're working that second job, that delivery gig, that weekend shift. You're missing dinner with your kids. You're exhausted. You're telling your family in a minute because you have to clock in for a shift you don't want to do. You tell yourself you're doing it to get by. That is a lie. We just did the math. You are working that extra shift to pay the $400 ego tax. You are trading your Saturday morning wear for 8.9% interest. You are trading time with your family for a touchscreen. You are not working 2 jobs to survive. You are working 2 jobs to pay for a mistake. The bank gets your money. The dealership got its commission, and you get to be tired, you get to be stressed, you get a car that will be worth half as much in 3 years. This isn't just a money mistake. This is a life mistake. You are selling the only thing you can't buy back, your time, all to look good for people who don't even like you. This has to stop. You have 2 futures in front of you. Right now, you can choose. Future 1, you keep doing exactly what you're doing. You finish this 72-month loan, and in 24 months, when it's almost paid off, you'll get that itch. You'll go back to the dealership, trade it in while it still has value, they'll say, and you'll sign a new 72-month loan. You will be 60 years old still making car payments. You will work until the day you die just to fund this cycle. You will never be free. That's the road you're on. Future 2, you draw a line. Today, you decide this is the last car you will ever finance. You pay this one off, you pay it off, and then you keep driving it. You drive it for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years after it's paid for, and every single month that you would have had a payment, you pay yourself. You take that $580 and you put it in a separate savings account. In 1 year of doing this, you have $6,960. In 2 years, you have $13,920. In 3 years, you have $20,880. The transmission finally goes. You don't care. You don't panic. You walk into a dealership, you find a reliable 3-year-old car for $18,000, and you write a check, you pay in cash, you get the title, and you walk away, still having $2,880 in the bank. You walk away free. Which future do you want? The one where you are always a renter, or the one where you are the owner? This isn't a dream, this is a plan. Here's what you're going to do. The 90-day belt tightening plan. It starts tomorrow. Month 1. You track. You don't change a thing. But every time that $580 payment hits, I want you to look at it, stare at it, feel the sting. Then I want you to track every other dollar you spend on that car. The gas, the insurance, the $10 car wash. You need to know the total cost of being its servant. You need the truth. Month 2. You squeeze. You find $50. That's it, just $50. You cancel 2 subscriptions, you pack your lunch for a week, you find $50, and you make 1 extra payment toward the principal of that car loan. Just 1. I want you to feel what it's like to fight back, to punch the bank in the mouth. Month 3. You commit. You are going to stop browsing. Stop looking at new cars online. Stop watching car reviews. You are going to go to your local library, or you're just going to Google it, and you are going to research how to make your current car last for 200,000 miles. You are going to learn what basic maintenance really means. You are going to change your mindset from renter to owner. That's it. Track, squeeze, commit. This is how you take your $40,000 back. This isn't about being cheap. I told you that. This is about being the boss. Who is the boss of your paycheck? Is it you? Or is it the bank that gets the first $580? Who is the boss of your career? Is it you? Or is it the loan that says you can't afford to quit? You work too hard to be this poor. You work too many hours to have this much stress. Taking control of this isn't sacrifice, it's power. It's telling the world, my time is worth more, my family is worth more, my peace of mind is worth more than your sheet metal. You earned that money, every last cent of it. It's time you started keeping it. You made it to the end. That means you're not just listening, you're ready. But hearing the truth and doing something about it are two different things. I need to know you're serious. This is your contract, with me, and with yourself. Go to the comments right now and write, I will own my driveway. No excuses, no buts or ifs. Just write the words, I will own my driveway. That's your promise. That's the first day of your new life. All right, we're done here. Stop watching this. Go look at your bank account. Then go look at your car. Decide which one you actually want to see grow. You already know the answer. Now go do it.